November 24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve. Portland International Airport. A man in his mid-40s wearing a business suit, dark sunglasses, and a black tie purchased a one-way ticket to Seattle. He gave the name Dan Cooper. The ticket agent noticed nothing unusual. Just another business traveler on a short afternoon flight. Northwest Orient Airlines. Flight 305 was a routine hop, 30 minutes in the air. A Boeing 727 with 36 passengers and 6 crew. The man calling himself Cooper took seat 18C in the last row. He ordered a bourbon and soda. He lit a cigarette. The plane departed at 2:50 p.m. Everything appeared normal. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. She assumed it was a phone number and tucked it into her pocket without reading it. Cooper leaned forward. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Schaffner opened the note. It read, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." She sat down. Cooper opened his briefcase just enough for her to see red cylinders, wires, and a battery. He was calm, polite. He made his demands clear. $200,000 in $20 bills, 4 parachutes, a fuel truck standing by in Seattle. If they cooperated, no one would be hurt. The crew radioed Seattle. The FBI was notified. President Nixon was briefed. Northwest Orient scrambled to gather the ransom. At 5:39 p.m., Flight 305 landed in Seattle. Cooper released the 36 passengers in exchange for the money and parachutes. He kept the crew on board. The airline and the FBI complied with every demand. The ransom, 10,000 $20 bills, was delivered in a canvas bank bag. 4 parachutes were brought on board, 2 main chutes, 2 reserve chutes. Cooper inspected them. He ordered the plane refueled and demanded a flight plan to Mexico City with a refueling stop in Reno, Nevada. He specified the route, altitude, and speed. Fly below 10,000 feet, flaps down 15 degrees, landing gear down, unpressurized cabin. The pilot complied. As the plane sat on the tarmac, the FBI took stock of what they were dealing with.
"This is one of the most extensive searches we have ever conducted. We are
At
determined
7:40
to find
p.m.,
this individual."
Flight 305 took off again, with only Cooper and the 4 remaining crew members on board. Somewhere over the dense forests of southwest Washington, at approximately 8 p.m., Cooper lowered the rear air stair door. The crew, locked in the cockpit, felt a sudden change in cabin pressure. A warning light indicated the rear door was open. At 8:13 p.m., the plane's tail section dipped slightly, then silence. When Flight 305 landed in Reno at 10:15 p.m., the rear air stair was still extended. Cooper was gone. The money was gone. 2 of the 4 parachutes were gone. Left behind, his black clip-on tie, a tie clip, a few cigarette butts, and 8 dynamite-shaped road flares. The bomb was a fake. The FBI launched one of the most extensive manhunts in American history. Over 300 agents combed the suspected jump zone near Ariel, Washington. Search teams covered rugged terrain, thick forests, and steep ravines. Helicopters, ground crews, and volunteers scoured the area for weeks. They found nothing. No parachute, no body, no money. In 1980, a young boy digging on the banks of the Columbia River near Portland discovered $5,800 in badly decomposed $20 bills. The serial numbers match Cooper's ransom. But that was all. No other physical evidence has ever been recovered. For over 5 decades, investigators and amateur sleuths have proposed countless theories. One widely discussed hypothesis is that Cooper did not survive the jump. The conditions were extreme: a freezing rainstorm, complete darkness, wind speeds over 200 miles per hour, terrain covered in thick forest and near freezing water. Some experts believe he died on impact or from exposure, and his body decomposed in the wilderness, never to be found. Another theory suggests he survived, buried the money, and disappeared into a new identity. The discovery of the partial ransom along the Columbia River supports the possibility that Cooper landed in or near water, though it raises more questions than answers. On board that flight, those who came closest to him could only recall one thing. Some speculate the money was planted. Others believe it washed downstream from a crash site. A third theory, popular among conspiracy theorists, is that Cooper was an experienced parachutist, possibly with military training, who carefully planned the jump and escape route. But despite hundreds of suspects investigated over the years, the FBI has never been able to definitively identify D.B. Cooper. In 2016, the FBI officially closed the case, citing a lack of credible leads. The agency still maintains an open file for any new evidence that might emerge. Today, more than 50 years later, D.B. Cooper remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in United States history. His identity is unknown. His fate is unknown. Whether he survived or perished in the forests of Washington remains a mystery. The case has inspired books, documentaries, films, and endless speculation. Every few years, someone comes forward claiming to know who Cooper was. A relative, a friend, a deathbed confession. None have been conclusively proven. The legend endures because it touches something deep in the American psyche. The idea that one man, with nerves of steel and audacity to match, could outsmart the system and vanish into thin air. But the reality is far darker. If Cooper survived, he lived the rest of his life in hiding. If he died, his body lies somewhere in the wilderness, undiscovered. The forest keeps its secrets. The case remains open in the minds of those who refuse to let it go. If you want to dive deeper into unsolved mysteries that haunt us to this point, subscribe and stay tuned. Next time, we're investigating another disappearance that defies explanation. Until then, the question remains, who was D.B. Cooper and where did he go?